Hi everyone, I'm Barry Silver, and today is a really exciting day. It is Vermont Gives Day, and that is a 24-hour statewide day of giving that is designed to celebrate and support nonprofits all across the state. And I am joined in the studio by a number of participating nonprofits. Thank you all for being here. Vermont Gives is actually, there's over 120 nonprofits that have joined us today that are celebrating and again, raising awareness for the important work that their organizations and that the nonprofit sector in Vermont does for our communities. But we just have a few folks here who were, I guess, flexible enough to come in and join us in the studio at Channel 17 in Burlington to talk about their organizations and to talk about their Vermont Gives campaigns today. So I'm going to introduce them, and I guess what we'll do is let you guys talk about your organizations and sort of what you hope to get out of Vermont Gives today and how it fits into your fundraising programs and plans at your nonprofit organizations. So to my right, so we're going to go across the table, is Hannah Satterley.
Yep.
And you're from the Vermont Dance Alliance, and that's not an organization that I'm familiar with. I gather that you have something to do with dance, so tell us more.
Yeah, this fell on a very appropriate month. We just celebrated our first birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
So we're very new, and it's an organization meant to network dancers and dance services throughout the state, so all edges of the state, but our headquarters are in Burlington. And the network is growing, but it can always grow. It's meant for all genres, all levels, so everyone can join. And this campaign, we're specifically hoping to fundraise for our educational outreach, which for us means works in progress showings to educate our audiences in the choreographic process, master classes for our members that are wanting to dance, and lectures to inform the community about the longevity of practice. And some of the Vermont artists that are in our network are in their 60s and 70s and have been working for about 30 years. And we also want to get into more dance journalism to educate just the common man that may not be interested in dance, but give them more of a taste of the culture of it. So we're hoping to raise $1,000 to help us bring dance to life.
Great. That sounds like that's a manageable goal, I think.
Yes.
It's everybody, you know, a little bit can go a long way, and that's really one of the great goals and benefits of doing a day of giving like Vermont Gives, is that it's an opportunity for us all to put our voices together and to draw attention to the nonprofit community and the needs in our community and the way that the community really can come together and fill some of the gaps. So I'm intrigued by a Vermont-based dance organization. Just thinking, I think of dance hubs around the country like New York City. Do you have special challenges in Vermont because we're not a metropolitan hub? It might not be the first place that people think of when they think of dance, or certainly we have a very vibrant performing arts center, but the kind of comprehensive services that you're talking about, it's great. I'm thrilled that you're here.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is the distance between all of us. And that's kind of the point of this organization, is to help us see who's doing what and help us find ways to network and resource together instead of being alone in different areas of the state.
Great. Well, people can find out more information about all of the organizations that are here by going to vermontgives.org. So there's information about, you know, each organization has their own website, but we're only going to give you one web address to remember today, and that's vermontgives.org. You can go there, find out about all of the participating organizations, and there are, as I said earlier, over 120 nonprofit causes and charities throughout the state that are participating, and find out about their causes and about their missions and other ways to get involved too. So let's move on because our time today is short and it's a busy day. So Anna McMahon is joining us from the Chittenden Emergency Food Shelf,
Yes.
which is on our block. You're in our
Yes,
neighborhood.
right down the street. We are the largest direct service emergency food provider in Vermont. We serve around 11,000 people each year through our various programs. And days like today are really important because a lot of our funding comes from donations from the public. But we have a lot of different programs that target this issue, not just the food shelf. We have a culinary program for underemployed folks in the community. That's an opportunity to gain some experience and hopefully get a job as a result of that. We also have a hot meal program. It's our breakfast that we serve 6 days a week. We have a homebound delivery program that specifically is for seniors and people with disabilities. So we do a lot of different things in the community. Our name is kind of a misnomer. I think people have an idea of what a food shelf is, but we do a lot of different things that center around food insecurity.
And the culinary training program is expanding, is that right?
Yeah, so we partner with the food bank, and we're actually hoping to break ground and expand our building site because it's pretty small for the amount of people that we serve. We're hoping to build an addition and have another kitchen just for our Community Kitchen Academy students.
Oh, great. And then there's also the Good Food Truck.
The Good Food Truck, yes. We're actually getting started with that now that spring, everything is thawing out. We can get out in the community, and they're serving meals to folks who otherwise maybe would not have a hot, healthy meal from locally sourced ingredients. So that also is out in the community. Look for that pink and bright green truck. So, yeah.
And in addition to serving meals, it's an opportunity to raise some revenue for the food shelf as well?
Yes, Emmett Mosley, who's the manager for that program, he also will go to different events like the Arts Right Truck Stop or various events throughout Chittenden County to sell food, but then all of that revenue will go back to the food truck.
Great.
Yeah.
So your Vermont Gives campaign will raise funds for all of the programs?
Yes, all of our programmatic needs, as well as just buying meals for folks that are going hungry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
I think for me when I talk about the food shelf, it's great because this is an issue that affects everyone. I think no one should be hungry. There's enough food to go around, and we really, not only is our goal to provide nutritional assistance and help people that maybe just are going through a hard time, but we want to create opportunities for people so that they don't have to utilize our services.
That's great. And you'll also be joining us. We'll be on Church Street a little bit later today in front of the Burlington City Arts Firehouse Gallery, giving people an opportunity to learn more about Vermont Gives, meet some more of the participating organizations, and also make donations both online at vermontgives.org and also in person on Church Street. I think we'll have some items that were donated by local businesses as incentives to give that we'll be raffling off, and maybe some Lake Champlain chocolates. So it'll be worth your while if you're out and about today and it's a beautiful day. Head down to Church Street and come and see us and learn more and give back. So let's move on and talk about Good News Garage. Ted, right?
Tom.
Tom, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh my goodness, I got the T right. So Tom Kupfer
Yep.
at Good News Garage, and tell us about Good News Garage, also in our neighborhood, just across the street from the studios, pretty much.
Yeah, so Good News Garage, for those of you who don't know, we've of course been in the Burlington community for a while now, since 1996, so we're pretty well known in Burlington and in Chittenden County. We are a nonprofit that empowers local families and individuals through access to reliable and affordable transportation. And we do that through a couple different programs. We have 3 main programs. Wheels to Work is the program we're most well known for probably, and that's the program that takes in donated vehicles from the public And a portion of those vehicles that are worthy to be fixed up and put back out on the road, we place them with families working with the state of Vermont. The other program is the Jumpstart program, and that's a program that's administered by us. So the clients we serve and the people we place the vehicles with don't necessarily need to be working with the state's social and welfare programs. So there's a little bit more flexibility in terms of who we can award vehicles to through that program. That program also has a repair component to it. So individuals that are maybe struggling to make a critical repair to their car to get it back on the road, we can help cover the cost, some of the costs with that repair to help them out with that. And the third program is called Ready to Go, and it's a statewide shuttle service that uses donated minivans that are stationed all around the state, and it's a van pool service. So the dispatch center for that is right over here on Winooski Ave. And people call us and they say they need a ride at a particular time to work or childcare or a doctor's appointment, and we can send a van out and pick them up for that.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I was aware that you offered all of that. You know, I'm certainly familiar with, I've heard the ads about donating a car and
Donate a car, change a life.
exactly. It's a great slogan, and it's a great service to provide to people who otherwise wouldn't be able to get to work, get to a doctor's appointment, and so on and so forth. So, so what are your hopes for Vermont Gives today and beyond today?
Yeah, sure. So I think it's kind of a twofold goal for Vermont Gives Day. First of all is just always to continue to raise awareness of Good News Garage and the programs and the constant need for donated vehicles. You know, donated vehicles are really what fuels the entire program, and we're just coming off, as we all know, a kind of brutally long and forgiving to quit winter, and I think that really impacted the amount of donations we were receiving, because donations are usually tied really closely to car sales, and I think a lot of people were just holding off on buying that new car with the roads the way they were and the weather. So we've got a lot of families lined up that are waiting to get into a vehicle, especially with spring and summer here, and a lot of things going on. And so there's a urgent need for vehicles, and more particularly for Vermont Gives Day, we're hoping to raise $2,500, and that's the cost of putting a Jumpstart vehicle out into the community for a family. So $2,500 helps cover the cost of the necessary repairs that we'll have to make to the vehicle, whether it's transmission service or a new set of tires, to get that vehicle back out on the road. So 2 goals for today.
And is any vehicle donatable?
Yes, good question. We take any vehicle as long as it rolls, so it has to have wheels on it, just so we can at least get it onto the back of a pickup truck or a flatbed. And we also take boats, jet skis, motorcycles, mopeds. We've even accepted lawn tractors, like riding mowers, all types of vehicles, if it rolls or floats, basically. But of course, what we really look for is cars that have a little bit of life left in them, that have served a family or two well over the years, and perhaps have one more family to help out and serve in their lifespan.
What would you do with a boat if it were donated?
This is a good question. So we don't place boats with families. That's not part of our mission. But the boats we'll bring to auction, okay. And the proceeds from that auction sale are reinvested back into the program. That's same thing that happens with a lot of the cars that we take. Cars that are just not worthy to be put back out on the road, because here in Vermont we see a lot of rust issues. Mm-hmm. So the car may actually run decently or look good from a distance, but when we inspect it, it's just rusted out and it's not safe to put back on the road. So vehicles like that will go to auction, and whatever they sell for, the money comes back and supports the rest of our programs that we operate, and the donors receive a nice tax deduction too. So they get the satisfaction of helping out, plus a bit of tax relief too.
Great.
Yep.
All right, shall we move on to talk about the Greater Burlington Y?
We shall.
Okay, so you're going to tell us about, so this is Kyle Dodson, and you're going to tell us about what's happening at the Y big things, I think, on the horizon, right?
Lots happening, lots happening. I just wanted to begin by thanking Common Good. I really appreciate the sponsoring of this and the station for having us all here, and you, Barry, for hosting. So thanks, everyone. It's great to be with my colleagues. Serving, I thought I'd start by just kind of making that connection between community. I think that's what kind of pulls us all together. We're all serving the community, and Common Good and Vermont Gives is all about the community. The YMCA is a 150-year organization. Been in the Burlington community for 150 years, serving, and we're eager to continue to do that. Today we're here hopefully encouraging people to support our capital campaign to build a new Y. So it's at 298 College Street, the site of the former Ethan Allen Club. A lot of people see that there. There's signage there that identifies as the Y currently, but actually we'll take that building down and build a brand new modern facility. And we're really excited about that because that facility will allow us to be fully accessible. We will, people of all needs and et cetera, will be able to access that building. We'll have childcare there. We'll have state-of-the-art modern facilities that are bright and airy and well ventilated. And these are all things, unfortunately, that aren't necessarily available now. So it's really important for us to build that. And perhaps, very importantly, I don't know if most importantly, but I think another community hub. A place in the community where people across all our differences can come together. I think in these times where we see a lot of divisiveness, unfortunately, around a place that's unifying, when you come to the Y, it doesn't matter what you do outside the Y, you're generally coming there to work on wellness, fitness, taking care of yourself, and that's what people have in common. And so it's a really good place to be. And in terms of what we asked today, if we could just have 10 people who are inspired by Vermont Gives Day, who could support the Y, we'd be really excited.
That's great. That's again, it's so doable. I mean, the need is great out there,
It is.
but we can all, come together and chip away a little bit and make a big difference. So,
Definitely.
when you talk about so moving all of the facilities, so the swimming pool, the childcare, everything that's currently in the old building would move into the new building.
That's correct. So everything and more, there'll be, we plan to offer most of the services that we have now into the new building. And it's really about, I think you talked to myself and my colleagues a little bit about how do we sustain ourselves. And in the case of the Y, which is a not-for-profit, 501c3, a lot of people don't realize that, but we're a little unique because we probably have more programs and services that are fee-based than another organization. So when we are operating in an optimal way, we are a little less dependent, perhaps, but we still need support really to help us support our scholarships and subsidy. So in the last couple of years, we've given out anywhere between $550,000 to $600,000 annually in scholarship and subsidy, and that either comes off of us having to create it or hopefully the generosity of the community really help us make it possible for people who otherwise wouldn't be able to work out, to make it possible for people who couldn't afford high quality early child care to do that, to make it possible for people who couldn't afford swim instruction and swim safety to do that. So it's really important on our annual fund, which isn't necessarily what we're asking for support with today, to be supported as well. But when we are in that new building, we'll also be able to generate some revenue that's pretty sustaining and allows us to also provide that subsidy to the community for different programs.
Right, and we do know that affordable childcare is a big issue for the state of Vermont.
Big issue, yeah.
So,
and the new building allows us to we're hoping to bring 50 new infant toddler seats onto the market.
Wow.
And those are the most difficult to create because they're really expensive. The ratios and the quality therein makes staffing and everything very expensive. So it's hard to break even, quite frankly, in
yeah,
that
and
business.
15 to 20 additional spots.
50.
50.
50.
Okay.
That's correct, yeah.
All right, so apparently I'm bad with names and numbers. So I'm glad that you guys are on top of it. You're correcting me. So that's going to make a significant impact, I think, for a lot of new families that, you have a new baby and you're struggling to just figure out how to get ready to go and get to work on time in the morning. And maybe it's one less thing to worry about if they know that their child will be in a safe and quality childcare setting like the Y. Usually there's just a limited number of spaces, and I know that people have been really struggling with finding a spot for infants. So that's good to hear. Great. So what else do we want to talk about today? It's So again, some of us will be out on Church Street and talking more. You can talk with us. You can ask questions about the organizations. You can go to vermontgives.org and learn more about what Vermont Gives is all about, and also find all 121, I think it is, organizations that are participating, not just in Burlington, again, through all corners of the state. There's a number of nonprofits in, I think, Washington County, so down in the central part of the state, and all the way down to Windham County. There's another big cohort of nonprofits that are participating this year. And all of them are worthy, all of them have great goals, and all of them would love your support. So please go to vermontgives.org and give back. Did this conversation bring up any questions for all of you, or thoughts about things that you wanted to add, either about your campaigns or your organizations?
In terms of thoughts, what I might add is, so in the business, all of us probably either do direct fundraiser, and we have staff to support us with it. One of the sort of mantras in the field is that you're doing friend raising, not only fundraising. And so I might encourage people who are watching that if you are a giver already, that's wonderful. And if you aren't and you plan to be, hopefully, to also go a step beyond and become involved, right? Watch. I'm sure that all of us have different receptions, and at the Y we have an upcoming annual meeting, but there are a number of public opportunities. And I think going to those things and seeing other people who give and getting more connected with that community that is supporting and engaging in the work of your not-for-profit, I think is really enriching. I think the best part of this, the best part of giving, is about connection and bringing joy, right? We're bringing the joy it gives you to be able to support and give back, and the joy you see when the people who use our various services. So it's really important for our businesses, for people to write those checks. We really appreciate that. But more important, quite frankly, is to connect. Come learn what we do, come meet our staffs, come meet the other people who are giving in that way, and that's what just kind of, it creates, I think, a real virtuous cycle once you start making those connections.
Right, and that is true, that making a financial contribution is only one way to give.
Correct.
That there are volunteer opportunities. I'm sure it sounds like the food shelf has lots of
Yes.
opportunities. I was just involved with something through Slow Food Vermont.
Yes.
And we just did disco soup.
That's great.
And
yes.
we helped process hundreds of
But
vegetables.
The Good Food Truck was there as well. Yeah, they. That's one of our great events we have with Arts Riot. There are quite a few volunteer opportunities if people are looking to get involved. Volunteering in the morning for the hot meal program, helping to serve food, stocking shelves. We are actually really in need of volunteer drivers right now for our homebound grocery delivery program, and that's really special because, again, it's targeting seniors and people with disabilities. But a lot of these folks, this is their only opportunity maybe to visit with someone during the day. So there's that human touch aspect as well, not just delivering food. And yeah, we have with all of our programs, we're really trying to again build relationships with people and make people feel that it's okay to receive food if they're going through a hardship and they're in need. There's no shame in coming to the food shelf.
Great, and so people can find information about ways to get involved on your website.
Yes, feedingchittenden.org.
Okay, good. How about Good News Garage? Are there volunteer opportunities there, or how do things work?
I'm sure we have a few volunteer opportunities, mostly in the office, just helping out with administrative needs. We also have a couple volunteers that help pick up vehicles and things like that. Ed Stowe, one of our longtime volunteers, he's gone above and beyond for years for us. One time we flew him down to Georgia to pick up a classic car, and he drove it all the way back to Vermont for us. And funny story, he only discovered when he got to around the New York border that the owner of the car had replaced the heater with an air conditioner because he lived in the South, and it wasn't really the best time of year for that. So that was a nice, fun discovery for him. But yeah, volunteers, very thankful for them, and yeah.
How about Vermont Dance Alliance?
Oh, always. We are completely volunteer staff. So we are really looking for help for project-based events. And we have an upcoming day of dance in Burlington. It's all public happenings that are free and outdoors in Burlington. So along Church Street and then from Church Street down to the waterfront. It's on June 16th.
Oh, great.
And so we're looking for volunteers to help out with that day. Or just also the volunteer effort of not only showing up and learning about us, but spreading the word. Everybody has a friend who's interested in dance or is secretly themselves interested. So helping us to really expand beyond just Burlington.
Well, great. It sounds like your secret is out then.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We're ready for it.
Revealed.
That sounds like a fun event. So June 16th.
June 16th, Traces. And similar to today, we will have a table in front of Burlington City Arts with maps that people can take to follow the treasure hunt of dance.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And how is that dance choreographed? So is it spontaneous dance or it's an actual choreographed piece,
So we
collaborative piece? Or
Well, we did a call for submissions statewide, all genres, and different artists will be representing their form. So some will be introducing the style of class that they might teach. Some are improvised, some are collaborative, some with live musicians, some snippets of performances, but all kind of chosen based on a place in Burlington that is inspiring to the artist.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
Just proving that dance can be public and can bring us together.
And can be accessible too. I think
Yes.
that's the other thing. Is that
Yes.
people think, oh, I can't dance, but
Exactly.
I think everyone can dance.
Everyone can dance. Yeah.
Right. Well, we like to think of Vermont Gives as a 24-hour flash mob of giving. So
Yeah.
let's get dancing and let's all go to vermontgives.org and give generously and look for other ways that we can get involved with all of these great organizations and other organizations throughout the state. We just have a few minutes left. So again, anything else that we want to make sure that we cover today and make sure that we let our viewers know about the work that you're doing or just the nonprofit community in general and how the community at large really makes the work that all of you do possible.
Sure. Yeah, I think Kyle, you already touched on it a little bit, but you know, we all, with today's age, with social media, I think we all have an incredible power to become advocates for causes that we care about. You know, before social media, it was very difficult for you to advocate for things. I mean, you could write an op-ed letter to your local paper or something like that. But now through social networks, you can easily share posts on Facebook or Twitter, and you know, instantly reach hundreds of your friends, and friends of friends can share that and multiply it to the thousands. So, you know, even if you're not in a position to donate a car or to make a financial donation, it's still really impactful to just help spread that message. And, you know, and that's the great thing about social media these days is just the power that I think people have to advocate for the things they believe in.
Great.
Yes, I don't have the exact statistics. I really appreciate you, Barry, pointing out that to the viewing audience that we encourage people to get engaged with whatever organization is. If you take a little time to understand the not-for-profit landscape, we would argue that you're going to find the place where your passion meets what an organization does. And that's the place where things really begin to happen. And just this is an appeal to the state that one of the challenges we have in the field is the challenge of getting more breadth instead of depth. That's everywhere. Here in Vermont, it is the case that a relatively few do a lot of the lifting when you have campaigns, and that's a national trend. We're not different. But there are states that sort of buck the trend a little bit and have broader giving, and that's really powerful. That level of participation that's broad, and it doesn't take much, right? So you don't have to be a millionaire to be a philanthropist, right? $5 matters, and $5 from 5,000 people starts to matter a lot, and that's doable. So I would just encourage the viewing audience to help our state and help these organizations that we represent and others really work on that breadth of engagement issue as it relates to Vermont. We've got a great grassroots kind of state. We got Howard Dean, we got Bernie, we got a lot of, I think, grassroots precedent, and so it'd be great if we could get more breadth in this arena.
All right. Well, great. I know this is a busy day for all of us, so thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
And good luck with your campaigns. Good luck with your organizations beyond May 17th. The need continues. So thank you so much for watching. Go to vermontgives.org if you're out there on social media, and we know you are. Use the hashtag VTGives and let everybody know what you're doing, what you're passionate about, and how they can get involved. Thanks so much for watching, and take care.